Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rich Perez welcoming you back into another dose of the rundown. It's a special one. Return guest on the show. My pop, Uncle Tony, is with us today. How's it going, Pop?
Good, going real good. Thank you for having me. Always honored.
Well, we had to do this one, man. Last time we had you on was we talked a lot about New York sports and everything, but we all know the first love here is definitely wrestling, and this is wrestling's biggest weekend. Or coming up here next 18th, week is wrestling's biggest. Yep. The NCAA Division I Men's Wrestling Championships, and the brackets just came out. After a crazy 2 weeks of conference tournaments, and this is why we're here today. We're here to give these things to you guys. So
absolutely, that's what we're here to do.
Most def. So let's get started here, man. 125 pounds, number one seed, Spencer Lee, 7-0. I think,
that guy's pretty good.
Yeah, very, very good. I think he's 100% a prohibitive favorite here. Yeah. He's going to have the winner of the pigtail between Kyson Terrakina of Iowa State and Patrick McCormick of the University of Virginia. Mm-hmm. Coming out of that pigtail, I think I like McCormick to come out of there. Terrakina's had a solid freshman year, but against a lot of veterans, he hasn't fared too well. And,
McCormick's been around for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So
is he a junior?
McCormick is, I'll tell you right now.
Continue.
Patrick McCormick is a redshirt sophomore.
Okay. Well, I do it natural junior, but yeah, redshirt sophomore.
So I'm going to take McCormick to go in that one. I got Spencer Lee handily winning that to move on to the second round there. And following that, his opponent should be the winner of Killian Cardinale and Cody Russell. Cody Russell, your SoCon champion at 125 pounds. Killian Cardinale transferred from Old Dominion after they got rid of that program wrestling for
our good friend Tim Flynn.
Yep, Coach Flynn over there at West Virginia.
Yep.
I want to say minor upset there. I'm going to take the 17 seed Cardinale to beat Cody Russell and take Spencer Lee there.
That's a tough one to call. Cody's been around for a little while, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't he at 33 last year? Yeah.
You may be right.
Yeah, Cody might have been at 33 last year, and he's down to 25. He's a very physical kid, very talented. He's been around a while now. He might be a junior or a senior. Is that the Russell that came out of Georgia?
He's a senior, yeah, Atlanta, Georgia.
The Georgia kid. Around Nathan Boston and him, I think we're on the same high school team.
Yeah.
You're talking.
No, you're thinking of the other Russell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a tough one. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. A lot of people, yes, Tim Flynn is legit. Ran Edinburgh, had that program for many years. Produced Gregor Gillespie, national champ. A lot of other great wrestlers throughout his career and tenure as a head coach. But now you got Coach Brantley over there at App State, and he's doing a job over there. I'm telling you, you go wrestle his kids, and his kids. You got Carter at 33, and some of his other kids. His kids come prepared. But I think I'm going to agree with you on that with Cardinale, but I would not favor him by too much. I think that can go either way, but. Between, like I said, the coach has a lot to do with it with Flynn there, and then the wrestler himself. Okay, maybe you're right. So let's move on to the next one.
Devin Schroeder, your 9 seed, going up against the 24th seed, and Fabian Gutierrez. Gutierrez was your 2 seed at the SoCon Championships, getting upset by Zarik Storm from Campbell. I think this could be a good match, but Schroeder's been very consistent all year. Had a great Big Ten tournament as a low seed, making the finals there at 125 pounds. I'm going to take Schroeder to move on here against Gutierrez in a tough one.
I'm going to agree with you on that one, especially when it comes to this type of tournament. So much depends on being able to get out of the bottom, as well as so much depends on what you do on top. And Schroeder's an absolute hammer on top. So I think that plays into his hand. So let's go down to the next one. You got Rayvon Foley. That's Lozen Treesta from Navy.
Treesta's another one.
He's been having a good year. He's been coming on. He's had a good year. Yeah, he's had a good year, but Rayvon Foley's been around. He's been around. I'm gonna go with Rayvon Foley due to the experience. I don't think it's a coincidence that he's the 8th seed. But you give me your input.
I'm going with Foley as well. I think Foley's had a tough year, but he's one of those guys that started to really put it together on late. Finished high at the Big Ten championships. So I think he's turning it around at the right time. He's definitely a guy I would pick to possibly make the podium. So I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go with Foley there to go against Devin Schroeder in that second round.
Okay. Now the next match, Mr. Brody Teskey, Iowa kid, Brandon Kaler. We know Teskey was at Penn State last year, transferred over to UNI, and the kid's having a solid year. He's the 5 seed. He's 12-1 for coming out of high school. He was that blue chip recruit, and he's gotten to UNI. And I don't know if it's the home cooking or whatever. He's putting it together there. So you know what? Not with anything more said. I'm going to go with Teskey.
Yeah, same. Definitely on board with you with Teskey. I think Teskey's been one of the more consistent guys. His only loss is to the 3 seed here in Brandon Courtney. I like what I've seen from Teskey. I guess, him and Coach Schwab are kind of like a match made in heaven because his results this year have been night and day compared to what they were at Penn State. So maybe it's
absolutely. No, absolutely. And sometimes it's got something to do. Sometimes it has a lot to do with being home, just feeling comfortable. The kid didn't all of a sudden when he was at Penn State forgot how to wrestle. Then he comes to UNI. I learned how to wrestle all over again. So things like that happen. You can't no way can you put the knock on Penn State and say, well, he's doing better because he's not there, because we know the program that Kale and Casey Cunningham and Cody have over there. But sometimes change of scenery, guys go back home and they're just comfortable and it's all good. So God bless him. He's having a great year. Now let's go down to Trevor Mastroianni from Oklahoma State, who we know is the Jersey Blair kid, and Michael DiAugustino from Northwestern. I'm going with Mastroianni.
I am too. And you know what, man? I think Master Giovanni might have a run in him for this tournament. DiAugustino is no slouch. He's 6-3 records, pretty solid season. But and Master Giovanni didn't have the greatest Big 12 tournament.
It happens.
But I like what he comes from a great pedigree coming out of high school. He's had a solid year. I think that he's going to have not to say that he will All-American, but I could see a path where he makes it to the quarters.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. And like you said, too, the pedigree, use the perfect word there when it came to this kid. You're talking about a young man coming out of Jersey that wrestled for the legendary master himself, Jeff Buxton. Jeff's not obviously the head coach at Blair no more, but I know what it is to be with Trevor Mastroianni and your little brother Tony at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs about 4 years ago, when Trevor and your little brother your brother's 170 now, your little brother was 119. Trevor, they were around the same size and they rolled around. And I remember Buxton bringing Trevor down for that week, as well as Robert Howard. And they weren't on the cadet world team. They were having practices for the cadet worlds. That's when Yanni was on the team and all of that stuff. And Trevor Mastroianni has made unbelievable leaps since I met him and we were down in Colorado Springs when he was 15 years old. He might have been a sophomore, but yes, he's made tremendous leaps. And now you go from Buxton to John Smith's room, with Zach Esposito, who's people know. Yes, it's Smith's program, but Zach Esposito is an absolute beast. Zach Esposito is a beast. Picking things apart, getting guys to get to the next level. You see what he did with our guy Pitch.
Yep.
Not all multiple state champs are guaranteed to succeed and have these beautiful careers in high school. If that was the case, they just give everybody All-American honors, just coming out. It doesn't work that way. So when you see what they did with our kid Pitch, and a lot of other kids, we know that that coaching has a lot to do with it. So yeah, we're going to go with Mastroianni.
Yeah, most definitely.
Father and son agree.
Yeah, man. We're doing it a lot so far.
Yeah, it's usually not the case. But I like it. I like Trevor. Very nice kid, very quiet kid, respectful kid, humble kid. The kid's a hammer.
For sure.
And now we go down to the next one. It's Liam Cronin against Jake Ferry. Ferry, is it?
Jake Ferry from Kent State. Another guy's 13-2 record, pretty solid. Liam Cronin, 9-3. Was the 2 seed at the Big Ten tournament, ended up getting upset to Schroeder, but I mean, it's an upset on paper.
Yeah, on paper, yeah, but
but Cronin's been solid. He ended up, basically bumping Thompson out of the lineup at Nebraska over there at 125. I'm gonna take Cronin here, even though he got him with a wild card. He's gonna make the most of this opportunity and get to the second round here.
We're agreeing. Somebody put something in my coffee. We're agreeing. I'm going with Cronin as well. I a lot to me, Rich, when it comes to this tournament, so much what may not really be the biggest thing during the season when it comes to this tournament, how important coaching is and the program you come from, how guys elevate. It really does, man. Having Manning there, come on, man, that's some serious stuff. But let's go on to the next one. We agreeing on Cronin.
Zariq Storm versus Drew Hildebrand. You know Zariq Storm pretty well. He was an NC State guy before he ended up at Campbell. Drew Hildebrand, actually, if you know, with the seeding matrix that was going on, a lot of people, you know, shout out to my guy, the Nomad, is putting it out there that, you know, based on the seeding matrix, that Hildebrand would be the number 2 seed.
Wow.
I guess the coaches ranking, which I haven't seen yet, you know, maybe bumped him down a little bit, or, you know, just some logic being used. He ends up as your 4 seed. I'm going to take Hildebrand to beat Storm, but I don't think that that's going to be an easy match for him at all.
That's a good call on your part. Like you said, knowing Zurich personally when he was over at NC State and watch him come in, and the kid has continuously gotten better. He's very solid. He doesn't put a ton of points on the board, but I'm going to tell you, it's hard to put a ton of points on the board against him as well. When he's on, like for some guys, being on means offensively, you know, just scoring. And him being on is you not scoring. When he's on, man, he's hard to score on. He's a physical freak. He's a weight animal. He just put together. That's all I could say about that.
Sure, for sure. Let's keep moving down here. This is going to be a lot, so we might just start switching it up and start looking at the top matchups from here on out. But you know, your 3 seed Brandon Courtney going up against Micah Rose from Binghamton. At 125 pounds here. I'm gonna take Courtney to move on here pretty handedly.
All right, we got that. That's a done deal. So now let's go to the next one. Eric Barnett against Jarrett Lane.
Minor upset here for me. I'm taking Eric Barnett, who's been solid for Wisconsin, against Jarrett Lane, who's also been solid, but I think I just like Barnett a little more.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go on that one because I'm not too knowledgeable about these 2 guys right here. So we're going to let you do that.
Well, here's someone you should be pretty knowledgeable. Well, 2 guys you should be knowledgeable about. Dylan Ragusin, true freshman out of Michigan, going up against Danny Vega, the transfer for South Dakota State. Danny Vega was a, you know, top tier high school wrestler. Things didn't work out for him at Iowa State, so he's over at South Dakota State now. I'm taking Ragusin. It's not an upset. I like Ragusin a lot. You know, he really, you know, showed out this summer. And, you know, him back, there was a possibility of him going at 133, but him at 125, I think is contending for high All-American honors here. And, yeah, I got to go with Ragusin there.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. On to the next one.
And then following that one, we got Gage Curry and Jacob Camacho. Jacob Camacho, your ACC champion from a year ago, is the runner-up this year, losing to Sam Latona. Gage Curry's been around for a while. I just think, you know, Camacho is going to be a little too much for him.
Oh, no, absolutely. You got to remember that Camacho's 2 losses are to the number 2 seed, Sam Latona, and 2 nail biters. They were both nail biters. Jacob Camacho's as good as they get. Extremely disciplined, gets better each match. Hard to beat twice. Latona beat him twice. Only guy to beat him this year. So we agree on that. Let's move on. We got Jacob Camacho.
Taylor Lamont against Jackson DeSario of Stanford. I'm going to go with Lamont here. Greco background. He uses it pretty well. Your Big 12 runner-up. I think he's probably going to see a fall here.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
The first round matchup, I think everybody's going to be glued on, is Robbie Howard of Penn State versus Malik Heinzelman.
Okay. So we know both kids. That's the irony behind this matchup here is, like I told you, very small, very coincidental. Malik Heinzelman was the cadet representative for the world team the year that I was over there training with your little brother at the Colorado Olympic Training Center. And he was the, I think, 100-pound, 101-pound representative for us. And that's the same time that week that Robert Howard was there with Matt Giovanni and your brother, and they were all training. Robert Howard, for those, don't know him, or you guys know, he's out of Bergen Catholic. A 1-time or 2-time state champ out of Jersey, might be more. I know he's just a very decorated kid. And the kid could go. The kid could wrestle. The kid is tough. in Kale's room. He didn't get a ton of matches in. He's had some tough matches this year, but the kid's a battler, and the kid could wrestle. And again, another kid, pedigree, good pedigree. I wouldn't underestimate Robert Howard. But again, Malik Heinzelman's the favorite, and we know that. Do not underestimate Robert Howard in that matchup. Both of them, as a matter of fact, they're not too big. Howard might be a little bigger. I mean, we've seen how Malik has grown into the weight. You can obviously see the physical matureness on his body now compared to last year or the year before.
Yep.
And you're talking about a kid that, at the cadet level was a world team member. So, and then he's got Tom Ryan, how much, we love Tom and know Tom personally. He got Jaggers. They got another room with a great staff. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready. But I'm going to go with Heinzelman now.
I'm actually going to go with Robbie Howard. I think, Kale does his best work in the postseason. He gets these guys to really peak at the right times. And we've been seeing these guys from Penn State really, really turning it on later on in the season. I think, they already had a close match in the duel when they wrestled each other. I think that, it's pot. And then, Heinzelman hasn't always been the most consistent guy either. Right. I like Robbie Howard in this matchup.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. I think, yeah, you're right. And like I said, Robert Howard comes from a great pedigree of programs from high school to where he's at now. I think Malik having the 2 years advantage of now being in his third year in college. I think that's a little bit of why I'm going to lean that way. But no underestimating Robert Howard. He's a battler. He could scrap, could wrestle in all three positions, great on his feet. Gets out from the bottom, could scramble with the best of them, and got a motor. And he's tough. He's a tough kid. Tough kid.
Patrick McKee going up against Noah Certain of Missouri. It's pretty cut and dry for me. I'm going to take McKee.
Yeah, no doubt.
Then you got Jonathan Tropea, Ryder, going up against Sam Latona. Sam Latona's had an amazing freshman year. I'm going with him over there.
All right, you got to go with him, and I agree with you. On paper, the numbers and everything, and the wins and losses. But I'll tell you, Tropea wrestled real tough in the conferences. He wrestled real tough. He wrestled really tough. He lost to somebody in the finals in a very, very close match. I forgot who he lost to, but he wrestled really. I watched him. I was like, whoa. Yeah, another kid. I'm almost sure another Jersey kid, Tropea. Tommy Cox used to wrestle him. They used to wrestle a lot when they were younger. And they used to go back and forth. And Tropea looked real good in the conference.
He took third.
Yeah.
Tropea lost to Ferry from Kent State.
Okay. And for third and fourth?
Yeah.
Who'd he lose to? Did he make it to the semis? Who'd he lose? Who won?
I don't have the brackets in front of me, just the results.
Okay, because I think the winner of that tournament, he gave him a really good match in the semis. I think that's what.
Yeah, 3-2 to Drew Hildebrandt.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. That's exactly. I forgot that. Look, and Hildebrandt's the 4 seed, who was considered maybe the 2 seed. And I'm telling you that Tropea wrestled Hildebrandt. It was close. Forget the score of the match. You saw position after position. It was they were fighting, they were clawing. It wasn't like a 3-2 match. You rode them out. No. Every position and every move was contested by both athletes, and Hildebrandt coming out with the victory.
Well, so I get but you're picking Latona too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Same matchup here. Let's go backwards a little bit here. We got Latona versus McKee. There could be some upset potential here, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to take Latona to move on to the quarters here as well. But that's that. I think that for for a second round matchup, that's going to be
that's a good one. That could at any other time of the year or something, that could be the quarters. But and then again, you see where McKee's coming out of. I think he had a rough going to conferences, but he's coming out of that room. He's coming out of that Minnesota room, but. Latona's proven to be on a mission this year, and look at coming out of the Virginia Tech room. There you go. He's a hammer. He's big. He's big. What is he like? He's got to be 5'9".
He's a tall guy.
He's a tall guy. 5'9".
Yeah.
Got to be 5'9".
Body frame kind of reminds me of Cody Brewer, who's actually his coach over there now.
Yeah. Yep. Not obviously as big as Cody was a 41-pounder when he won his title. 33. Wow, look how big he was. 33. He looked like he was 49. He was huge. Yes. But the kid can wrestle, man. The kid could wrestle, and it's ironic you say that, right? We get back to that. I was going through some kid matches a couple of weeks ago, and I watched Zach Redding, who's over at Iowa State, and Latona wrestling when they must have been like 10 years old against each other, right? Redding getting the victory against Latona back then. Obviously, they're both in different weights. Latona's on another level as of now, for this year, but yeah, I'm going with Latona. He's a hammer.
In the matchup before that, I know you picked Malik. I'm going with Robbie. I've got Robbie taking out Taylor Lamont. We talk about Master Giovanni going on a run. I think Robbie Howard has a run in
him. Taylor Lamont from Utah Valley?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the blonde hair kid. Big boy to another big kid. I could see the winner of either Howard or Heinzelman getting the victory. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't know.
Well, Taylor Lamont's an All-American.
Yeah, the reason I say with Taylor Lamont, I would favor Taylor Lamont over either one of those two personally. I think physicality. I think maturity, physicality, kick rest, and he's big, man. He's big. He's big. You know, he's big, and he's been here before, and he's big. Like, you know, people don't realize how size and physicality, you know, how that comes into play. You know. It comes into play, believe me. You're not talking. You got to wrestle 3 to 5 matches, you know, to get to All-American. You'll start realizing how that wears on the body, and you start seeing how the guys that are smaller, you know, it can wear on them. It can wear on them. But again, if it gets to that point with one of them obviously advancing to go against Lamont, I would go with Lamont. So let's move on.
The match everybody is probably going to be glued to is going to be Dylan Ragusin versus Jacob Camacho. You know, Dylan Ragusin was at 133 for a little bit for a reason. I think that was going to be a really fun match. When Ragusin, put it this way, Ragusin,
what he did on the freestyle circuit.
Yeah, it's exactly. Like he had a hell of a summer this past summer.
Unbelievable.
Ragusin got teched by Spencer Lee at the Big Tens, and that was probably Spencer Lee's toughest match. Like, think of how crazy that is. Spencer Lee's facial expression, even after teching the kid, is just like, this kid is legit.
Yeah, this kid is tough. Yeah, Ragusin's tough, man. You've seen him wrestle hard. I mean, he had a run at the trials, I think it was this summer, in freestyle, and wrestled Vito and was like, hell, was giving Vito a hard way to go. And then, Vito's experience kicked in and the level of his wrestling kicked in. But yeah, he's legit. That kid could have the kind of run that could get him into the All-Americans. That kid could All-American.
I really think he's gonna be a high All-American in this tournament.
I wouldn't disagree with you. No. He has the size. He has the wrestling ability. He has the package, and he's proven it. I mean, what more proof do you need than in the men's open division to wrestle, as well as he did this summer in freestyle at what, 57 keys? Mm-hmm. 57. Mm-hmm. He gets legit.
I think we're both going to take Ragusin here, right?
Absolutely.
So moving on here is Brandon Courtney. I got Eric Barnett going up against him. I'm taking Courtney to move on to your quarterfinal there in that top half.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what do we got after that? We already know that's pretty much
Hildebrandt and Cronin. I'm looking at upset potential there. I don't know. I like what I see from Cronin. I think I got the 13 scene moving on to the quarters.
Anything's possible. I'm gonna go with Hildebrandt. I'm gonna go with the higher seed kid in this situation.
We got Mastro on above them. We both agreed he's gonna go here. I said I think I got him going on a run. I think he's going to get revenge against Brody Teskey. I think he's learned a lot from the first time they wrestled, and that's why I got him moving on to the quarters.
Yeah, he lost by about 4 or 5 to Teskey, right?
Yeah.
If anybody's gonna go back to the lab, so to speak, and fix things and make adjustments, it's going to be the Okie State staff. Again, that's where my good friend and guy that I respect and look up to so much, and Coach Zach Esposito comes into play. He's going to get his hands on them. They went right back to the lab. They know that that's going to be a matchup that they're going to see. I think they're ready for it, and I'm going to agree with you on Master Giovanni coming back and avenging the loss to Teskey.
Over there, we got Foley up against Schroeder, a Big Ten matchup in your second round. These guys didn't get a chance to meet up at the Big Tens because they were on opposite sides of the brackets. I like what I see from both of them. But like I said earlier, I think Foley's kind of putting it together at the right time. I got him moving on to your quarters to have a rematch with Spencer Lee.
Something must be wrong with us. We're agreeing on too much. I'm agreeing with my son Richie on Foley. I think his athletic ability, his ability to avoid certain positions is going to be key. I think he should score the first takedown on his feet. That's a big difference at this level, and avoid ending up under him. You get choice, better not go down. So I'm going to agree with Richie, and I'm going to go with Rayvon Foley.
All right. Well, go. Let's keep moving on here. It's going to be Lee versus Foley in the quarters. I think it's pretty consensus. We both got Spencer Lee.
No, Foley.
Yeah, they wrestled in the they wrestled in the semis of the Big Tens. Quick work by Spencer Lee in the semis of the Big Ten. So
with a tilt.
Here's one for you, because we both have Master Giovanni making the quarters on the bottom half of the top side.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be going up. My pick was Cronin. You said you're going to go with Hildebrandt. I think regardless who comes out of that, I think Master Giovanni has a run in him. I think that he can make the semis of this tournament. He
has the talent. He has the ability. I just watch it when it comes to freshmen putting those 3 or 4 matches in a row. Again, the physical part of it. But does he have the wrestling acumen? Does he have that? Man, he has it and then some. Yeah, he has it and then some. That's a toss-up. That's a close one. But I mean, I got to respect the fact that you're feeling that this kid could have a run. I wouldn't dispute that with you because, of who he is and what he's done and the rooms that he's in. So, you know what? I got to be fair with you and let you have that one.
First quarter of the bottom half is going to be Courtney versus Ragusin. And you know what? I'm going to take Ragusin, man. I just
the kid's a hammer, man. The kid's a hammer. Forget the numbers, forget the rankings, When it comes to that kid, for some reason, he's that one kid. To me, all bets out the window. I'm not betting against that kid.
Nope. Sam Latona on your bottom half is expected to take on. I said I got Robbie Howard coming out of here. I think you said Taylor Lamont, correct?
Yes.
So for me, Sam Latona, I think that's where if Robbie Howard's going to go on a run, I think it ends for him in the quarters against Sam Latona. Right. If it's Taylor Lamont, I think Latona would win that bout too.
Yeah. Latona's not losing to those guys. No way. Nope. He's not losing to those guys. And is that in the quarters?
Yeah, that's quarters.
That becomes the quarters. And then after the quarters, then who?
Semis, you would have Ragusin versus Latona.
Wow. Now it changes again a little bit. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Ragusin's big. He's long. He's tough. And so is Latona.
I think that's an overtime matchup.
That could happen. It could happen. But I'll tell you, you don't beat Jacob Camacho not only once, but twice if you're not official. You don't beat Jacob Camacho twice. I don't think he's lost to anybody.
10-0
in college.
10-0 this season.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think he's lost to anybody in college. He might have twice. Maybe his freshman year, but he beat him twice. That's not a coincidence. You have to have everything clicking. Mentally, you have to be right. Your focus got to be right. Your wrestling's got to be right. And he's done that twice.
I think the other thing that might be hurting Ragusin here is he's a big 125. Like I said, he wrestled 133. They were thinking, he might be gold 33 for the season for a reason. I think possibly that weight cut might hurt him a little bit late, having to make weight in the morning. Mm-hmm. That's just one factor. And we're both saying that could be an overtime matchup. So I think that might come in the factor there. I'm going to take Sam Latona to get to the NCAA finals against Spencer Lee at 125 pounds.
And I'm going to go with the upset.
Ragusin?
I'm going to go with Ragusin.
All right. I respect it.
And it's just a feel. It's just a feel. I'm going to go with the upset.
So who are you taking for the title, Spencer Lee?
Oh, me. I'm going to win my first title. No, absolutely. I mean, there's Spencer Lee and then there's everybody else. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Spencer Lee and everybody else.
So Spencer Lee, three-time champ with the possibility to be your first ever 5-time national champion.
And first 5-time Big Ten champion. Isn't that right or no?
No, because he didn't win it his freshman year.
Okay. He lost. Okay. All right.
Let's go through some of the more interesting matchups here. 133 pounds, first round. Let me just look through here. Um, Not seeing nothing too crazy. I think Van Vliet versus Trombley could be a good one. Trombley, your 12 seed. Zach Redding versus Ryan Sullivan in the first round. Big 12. Again? Ryan Sullivan from West Virginia.
Mm-hmm. He's a tough Pennsylvania kid.
Big 12 matchup there.
I think he's a PA kid. Go ahead, real tough kid. Go ahead.
Not nothing too crazy that I see here. Boo Dryden versus Louis Hayes could be a nice one. You got a 6 foot 133 pounder going up against a stud in Louis Hayes.
Yeah, an absolute hammer on top. JUCO national champ. You can't go against Louis Hayes though, man.
That's one that I think I'm gonna pay attention to on Thursday morning.
Okay.
I think he can give Louis Hayes some fits there.
Well, I think he can give anybody, anybody fits with his height and his ability to wrestle on top and his ability to it put you to your back and score big points because he does it. He's got his losses, but look at his wins. He puts a ton of points on the board.
Moses Schwartz versus Kyle Berwick in the first round.
That's a good matchup.
Definitely a good matchup. Two high school studs. Schwartz a Big 10 finalist, a Big 12 finalist a year ago. I believe he took third fourth.
No, he took fourth. He lost to Zach Redding from Iowa State.
Okay, there you go.
20-7.
Really?
20-7. Zach Redding beat him. Yep, and being from Section 11, Suffolk County, Zach Redding's our guy.
The Section 11 boys did work this weekend.
Yeah, that Zach Redding. I'm going to tell you something. Zach Redding, the kid is legit. The kid is legit. He went into the Big 12s 3-4, I think. Beat the kid that ended up taking whatchamacallit spot to get the
UNI.
Yeah, the UNI kid. What's that?
You're talking about Biscaglia.
Yeah, Kyle Biscaglia, who's an Iowa guy, who's a multiple state champ, placed at Fargo Bunch, who was actually their starter and ranked as low as 14.
Wasn't having a bad year.
No, and Zach beat him 6-5 and sudden death or overtime. And then, from what I hear through the grapevine, there was a wrestle off with his teammate. And that teammate beat Biscaglia in the wrestle off, and that was the deciding factor.
So who's going to Big 12s?
Yeah, so to go to Big 12. And Zach Redding dismantled that kid. And then, again, he lost 5-2 or 5-3 or 5-2 to Madrigal in the semis, and then came back and lit Moses Schwartz up, which you don't see that happening too much. Moses Schwartz won Fargo. I know he's won it at freestyle. He might have won it at Greco too. He's always been there placing. Finished, I think, if I'm not mistaken, after high school, he might have went to SEM a year. He might have. I'm not sure. He might have went to SEM. But, Moses Schwartz is legit. And Zach Redding just lit him up. 20-7. It was like a football game. 20-7, 21-7. So go ahead.
Well, another guy we're both familiar with, Shawnee Carter, North Bad Boy, county champ.
Two-time county champ, two-time All-State. Fargo, NHA, SCA, National All-American. Might have took fourth his senior year at Senior National.
SoCon champ.
That's right. He was a 2 seed and ended up winning it. And we know Shawnee personally because Shawnee wrestled for North Bad. And he wrestled again with your brother Tony under Coach Baraccio and Coach Uvina. And Sean Carter is the real deal. He's a workhorse. And unfortunately for him, he's getting thrown to a line right out of the gate, which is the number 2 seed.
Roman Bravo Young, Penn State.
Unfortunately for Sean Carter, he's got to wrestle. To me, he's just got to wrestle. You're wrestling RBY. It's kind of heartbreaking for me to knowing Shawnee and knowing what a great young man he is. His father's good people, his father Rob, great mother, great family, and a kid who's as humble and as unassuming as they come, but who wrestles and comes to fight and wrestle. So, Shawnee, bring your fight with your man, but it's RBY. So we're moving on. We're going with RBY.
I'm looking at the path here. Got RBY I got RBY beating Moses Schwartz in the second round, so I got him going to the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
His opponent for the quarters, looking at Lucas Bird, who's in a very good.
Lucas Bird is the one who lost to whatchamacallit in the finals by a point, right? DeSanto in the Big 10.
No, DeSanto lost to RBY in the Big Ten.
No, not the Big Ten. Was it? Wait, who? Or was it in the semifinals? Where's the kid Bird from?
Illinois.
Okay, it is him. It's him. DeSanto beat him 5-4. DeSanto beat him during the season 18-6 or something.
He had a very good Big Ten tournament.
A great Big Ten tournament. I tell you, look it up. He lost 5-4 to Santos in the semi.
I'm going to take Lucas Bird to wrestle Roman Bravo Young in your quarterfinal, 7 versus 2.
Okay.
And I got RBY moving on to the semi there.
Absolutely.
Apart from there, Madrigal, I got moving on from the first round. He's another guy who's really turned it on in the postseason. In the second round, I got him beating Schmidt from Missouri. So I got Madrigal in the quarter going up against Corbin Meyer. He'll be right back. I got Madrigal going up against Corbin Meyer in your quarterfinal. And I'm going to take Corbin Meyer to get to the semifinal there. Corbin Meyer is just a guy who's continuously proved. Originally at Edinburgh, moved on to Virginia Tech, and man, has he improved a ton. So I got RBY Corbin Meyer in your I got RBY Corbin Meyer in your semifinal. Up top, number 4 seed Austin DeSanto. I got moving on to the quarters against Mickey Philippi from Pitt. And I'm going to take DeSanto to get to the semis, but Mickey Philippi was, he's got to win over Dayton Fix. That's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to take Austin DeSanto to get to the semis against Dayton Fix, who will probably end up wrestling Michael McGee from Arizona State in the quarters. Those are my picks there. 133 pounds. Got Fix going to the finals with a win over Austin DeSanto, and then Roman Bravo Young beating Corbin Meyer in that semi. So Roman Bravo Young versus Dayton Fix. Man, I'm gonna go with an upset here of Roman Bravo Young over Dayton Fix, which some people might call me crazy, but I think Dayton Fix is kind of still kicking the rust off from RBY in that Penn State room, and how Kale and his staff scout guys, and how they're ready to go come March. I think. Call me crazy, but I got the number 2 seed Roman Bravo Young winning a national title at 133 pounds. So let's move on to 141 pounds. Your number 1 seed Jaden Ironman in the first round. I got him taking on Hofstra boy. Shout out Coach Papadatos. I got him taking on Hofstra boy Vinny Vespa, who will come out of that pigtail up against Caden Brooks of Indiana, who also got a wild card.
I'm back.
Uncle Tony's back. I just told him I'm picking Roman Bravo Young to win a national title.
And guess what? I agree with you 100%. I got Roman Bravo Young winning a national title.
Got him winning over Dayton Fix.
Yeah, I think we know how tough Dayton is, how good Dayton is. Dayton is still the same Dayton from last year and the year before. And Roman Bravo is not the same Roman Bravo from last year and the year before. He's just wrestling on such another level. It's crazy. I mean, it is insane. I just think the athleticism, the wrestling IQ now.
The coaching.
Yeah. I just think that's it, man. I think Roman Bravo Young is going to show the country who the best 33-pounder in the nation is. I don't care who's in that weight. So, yes, Roman Bravo Young, RBY, 2021 NCAA champion, hailing out of State College, Pennsylvania, the Nittany Lion.
I got Jaden Ironman going up against Hofstra boy Vinny Vespa in the first round. Got him coming out of that pigtail. Vinny Vespa is going to have New York boy is going to have his hands full. So
yeah, Vinny Vespa. I think what section 5. I think it's section 5.
Section 9.
Yeah, Valley Central. Yeah. Valley Central. Yeah. I think all day long. We know where that's at. So move on.
Just shout out to Coach Papadatos, though, man. I like what they're doing over there. Some other interesting matchups here. First round, Ian Parker, Colin Valdez, even as a 26 seed, Valdez is solid, but I think Parker will get past him. That's an interesting matchup, though.
Yeah. Parker.
Lane Peters versus Dylan Duncan. I like that matchup a lot.
Wow.
I know. Here's another one for you. DJ Lauren from Fresno State versus Brian Courtney in the first round. DJ Lauren from Fresno State has been very, very solid.
And now what weight are we at?
41.
Oh, 41. Well, you know, Courtney's, he has that unorthodox style. He's not the greatest on his feet, but then you get in on a shot on him and he counters and turns the corner, gets in that crack back, and he's got cradles and all type of stuff. Being that PA kid, we've watched him and we know of him for many years since he's a kid. Wrestling Jacori team and everybody else out of state of New York, Bruziello, he's come across. The kid's legit.
Then Drew Madden versus Chad Red first round.
Oh, my guy, Drew Madden. I know Drew for a long time. I know Drew through J-Rob with Tommy Cox and Anthony Sparaccio. I got to know him when he's a little kid. Wow, he might weigh maybe 90 pounds. He might still weigh 90. I'm only kidding. Drew's tough. Ohio kid. But you know who he's wrestling. I think it's going to be a tough one for him, Chad Red. But you know what? Both Ohio guys.
No, Chad Red's Indiana.
Indiana. I'm sorry. Indiana. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought Indiana. Yes, Indiana. Chad's the favorite there. You know, I personally, you know, emotionally, I wish you the best, Drew. I hope, you know, he can pull it off. But Chad Red, yes, is the wrestling favorite. Absolutely.
Another guy that looks like he's peaking right on time.
He's got 2 losses too. He's got 2 or 3 losses, I think. To
put it this way, he wrestled Dylan Duncan in the duel and barely scraped by him, and then they wrestle at Big Tens and he just annihilates him.
Yeah, and his only losses this year to Ironman. He's got 2 losses to Ironman this year, and I forgot who the other losses.
He was actually up on Sebastian Rivera for most of the match and for Rivera, third place.
Yeah, Rivera. Yeah. All right, so go on.
I mean, as far as moving on goes, your 2 seed Nick Lee, I got him moving on to the quarterfinals.
I love Nick.
I got him taking on Ian Parker, the 7 seed in the quarterfinals there.
I got Nick Lee all day. I mean, Ian Parker's solid.
Do you think Parker gets past Zach Sherman in the second round?
It depends again when Zach Sherman shows up. Our North Carolina guy wrestling for our good friend Coleman Scott, Tony Ramos and the staff over there, Jamil Kelly. No secret that Mr. Kenny Monday, another superstar and legend of our sport, is over there at the RTC. The coaching staff there is really high level. But it depends which Zach Sherman we get. Is he capable? Does he have it within him? Yes, but man, Ian Parker's wrestling consistently super high level.
And did great things going on at Iowa State right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, you got Dresser there, and you got Metcalf there, and you got St. John there. I mean, the program's legit. So go on, move on. What do you think? That's why I'm saying about Zach Redding. Look at Zach. 7-8 months ago, Zach Redding was wrestling high school kids. 8 months later, he takes third in the Big 12. And I've spoken to him, and I've spoken to his father, and Zach has told me innocently and honestly, he's like Uncle Tony. He's like, he goes, it's just another level compared to high school. He said, the stuff that I work with and learn with Metcalf and St. John, it's just, you know, it's just another level. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. So move on.
I got Seabass going to the semis there. I got him beating Alan Hart, the 6th seed of Missouri, in the quarters. He's got a path though, man. He's going to be wrestling Dylan D'Amelio first round, and then I picked Dylan Duncan in the second round. So that's 2 tough guys out the gate. I think he'll do fine against Duncan. I think against against D'Amelio. Against Duncan, I think he'll win, but that's the way Duncan's been wrestling as of late.
Keep giving everybody fits, huh?
Yeah, but I got Seabass versus.
I'm going with Sebastian Rivera.
I got Seabass versus Nick Lee in the semis. Though I don't know if you got a chance to watch their Big Ten semis, but that's arguably match of the year.
Where's my guy Tariq Wilson at?
Tariq Wilson is your 4 seed.
Who's he got?
Tariq Wilson, first round is going up against Zolman from Wyoming. Got him moving on there, and then the winner of Lauren Courtney. So I'd pick him against Courtney.
Yep.
And then in your quarterfinal, I believe you got Real Woods as your 21 seed.
Wow. That's crazy because we know Real Woods is.
We know exactly how good Real Woods is. Real Woods, the real deal, no pun intended.
That's right.
And Real Woods' second round is going up against Dom Demas.
Oh.
How crazy is this?
Wow, that's insane. You know, now you're talking about insanity early in a tournament. I mean, And in any year, that if you said that was the finals, you'd be like, really? All right. If you said that's the semis, and you're talking about that could be the quarter, that's a quarter.
Second round.
Second round.
Second round.
Are you kidding me, Rich?
Second round. Dom Demas and Real Woods.
Oh my God, the rundown. What a great show to be on, and man, I'll tell you, Richie's lighting it up, man. You're lighting it up, kid, and you're really bringing the enthusiasm out of your dad, because I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be a barn burner.
I think Real Woods is kicking the rust off right now. Because I think you really saw that at the Pac-12s, because he lost to a guy that he had handled the year before, because Willits.
Okay.
Because I think he's just kicking the rust off. I'm gotta go with Dom Demas.
Yeah,
but man, the fact that those two are squaring off in the second round.
You know what the thing is with Dom Demas, another Ohio kid.
Big moves.
It's not only the big moves. Everybody big moves. Yeah, the kid can wrestle, man. You know what? He gets his underhooks and he scores offensively out of them underhooks, a lot like Hayden and Trent Hidley. But it's not only that he scores from them. When he doesn't score, you don't dominate him, move him, and control him. So he uses those underhooks in that situation to offensively look to dominate and score, which he's usually probably the best in the country from that position. And then at the same time, it's hard for you to do anything to him in return because he's the best in that position. So Dom Demas is the kind of kid that, in my eyes, if you don't get on his legs and get on his legs early and you allow him to get unders and overs, you're going to have a long 7 minutes.
Well, I got Tariq going against Dom Demas in the quarters.
Now, see, Tariq, this is what I love about Tariq Wilson. Tariq Wilson is one of the most versatile wrestlers in the country at any weight. Versatility. His athleticism is through the roof. It's high level like a basketball player. His IQ is insane. His inner toughness, his mental, physical toughness, insane. And he's going to know, and I'm going to tell, and he is the one guy, wait a minute, he is the one guy who could body lock down Demas and put him to his back.
Very reminiscent of the run he went on his freshman year when he gets nearly teched, or he might have got teched by Cade Brock in the duel.
Oh, in Italy.
Yeah.
He got smashed. And when he talked
and
about
they wrestled, and Cade Brock, don't get it twisted. Cade Brock likes to wrestle upper body as well. That's how he beat Cody Brewer the first time they wrestled.
Yes, sir.
And he went double unders up against Cade and threw him to his back multiple times.
A few times, yeah. And then he did it to Pletcher and everyone else. Tariq Wilson.
I got Tariq. Not only do I have Tariq Wilson going to the semis, I have Tariq Wilson upsetting Jaden Ironman to go to the NCAA finals. Some wrestling people might call me crazy, but
I won't call you crazy on that one because of he has the experience. He's already taken third.
He's having an amazing year.
Yeah, he's having an amazing year. And I have a personal text from Tariq. Let me see if I can find
breaking news on the rundown here, ladies and
gentlemen.
Let
me see if I can find it. Hold up. Let me see if I still have it. I had some tweet. I hope I didn't erase them. Hold up, because we were having some back and forth. Please. His name, give me that. Don't say I erased it. Oh, here it is. There it is. Right here. It's on my phone. Tariq Wilson. I'm going to tell you what Tariq said. I reached out to Tariq. I said, I'm not going to blow smoke up you. I said, I'm proud. I told him I was proud of him. You wrestled one. I told him in this text, you got to win, but everybody you wrestle wants to beat Tariq Wilson. You have to know that, with that said, you can't keep depending on comeback wins like you have lately. You got to put these guys away. Confidence-wise, early. Stop giving them the room to think they can go with you. And then Tariq's reply to me, and this was, so you know, this was on January 29th, 10:55 p.m. Tariq says to me, you're right, Uncle Tony. I've been letting guys think they can hang with me. I'm starting to get in my flow of things now. It was rough the past week. Now I have things. I think I have my conditioning in check and complete focus throughout the match. Definitely going to start running up the score and showing dominance. I definitely needed to hear someone say this to me besides saying congrats. Really appreciate the truth. I said, don't get me wrong. You have You have to pace yourself even when looking to dominate. But what must change is them having the thought that they can beat you. That's crazy. And then I said, they're not on your level, period. And then we went on to say a few more other things. And then I said something to him about something else. Yeah. And he just said that it's all about him getting better and better shape throughout, the rest of the season. But yes, that was a direct back and forth text with me and Tariq Wilson on the 29th of January. And yeah, he's the kind of guy that, not many guys in the country, and there's some that have all the bases covered. Like I said, he can wrestle you from the outside. He could wrestle with the best of the best on the inside, body lock you, throw you the same way you might think you're going to throw him. He's going to take your position and be better at it than you on that given day. He can get out from the bottom. He could ride you on top. And he has a chip on his shoulder, and his confidence, his inner confidence that he could beat anybody is legit.
Definitely, man. I've gotten a chance to interview him over the phone a couple times. Given me some great quotes for some pieces. He's lit. They got something over there called pack mentality. He's lit. He is living that thing. Talking to guys like Mike Mock, Tommy Gant, guys that were good wrestlers in high school, and not great, but they get to this NC State room, man. And I don't know if it's in the water or something, and they just. They turn it up and turn it up, and he's lit. Tariq is another guy that we saw his freshman year.
Kid took second in the state. He wasn't a multiple state champ. Took second in Ohio, and think about the guy who beat him in the finals. I forgot where that kid's at now. Those kids couldn't scratch his kneecaps today. And mind you, that as a senior when he took second, the following year, within the following year or so, was it his true freshman year? He took
redshirt freshman year.
Redshirt freshman. So 2 years after taking second in the state of Ohio, the kid has a run and takes third in the D1s. And look who he beat, the guys he beat. He beat the 4 seed, the 5 seed. I mean, he just forget about it. But yes, I'm going to agree with my son, Richie. I got Tariq Wilson winning it at 41.
I got him winning it at 41, man. Yeah. And I like Nick Lee. He's got a motor.
I love Nick too, but it's Tariq.
You know what? I think he's going to wrestle Sebastian Rivera in the finals.
Wait, is Nick Lee on the opposite side?
Yeah,
of Tariq?
It's Nick Lee. I think
I see Nick Lee and Tariq Wilson in the finals.
I got Seabass Tariq Wilson, but nonetheless,
I love Nick, and Nick is such a great kid on it. So I got Tariq over Nick Lee in the finals, but man, don't underestimate Nick Lee beating anybody convincingly when he's on. People continue to talk about his motor. Yeah, we know he's got a motor. A lot of these guys at this level D1 have motors. There's a ton of them. And there's some that, but the kid could wrestle, man. The kid could wrestle. Yeah, he's got a motor. He could wrestle. That coaching staff, he could go. But let's go. Move on.
149 is going to be the weight class. I'm looking at it right now. It is going to be the weight class to watch. Off the gate in your pigtail, you got Greg Gaxiola of Hofstra going up against Andrew Alvarez. I'm going to take
Alvarez is tough. He's a pin.
Alvarez is the man.
Yeah, Alvarez is the
I'm going to take Alvarez.
Yes.
Don't sleep on Gaxiola, though, man. Do not sleep on Gaxiola. Well.
He's having a good year. It's going to be the room. And it's going to be the pedigree of the kid.
I like Alvarez in that.
Is tough,
you got Andrew Alvarez, Sammy Sasso, first round.
That's crazy.
You're going to be saying that a lot in this bracket, I promise.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's insane. But Sammy Sasso, you better pack a big lunch to beat that kid.
I'll tell you what about Sammy Sasso. When I watch him wrestle, Jay Jaggers has his fingerprints all over this kid. Every time somebody shoots on him,
absolutely,
he's sitting right to the corner, going right for that cradle.
Yep. That's his guy. That's his guy. And then when you say Jay Jaggers, without a doubt, has a wrestling fingerprints all over him. And that's where the great Tom Ryan, who happens to be my son Richie's favorite, right? Richie loves and idolizes Coach Tom Ryan because Richie knows him when he was out here coaching Hofstra. Richie grew up under Tom in his room at his mattress since he's a little boy. But it's the mental part of what Tom's going to do and say to that kid and how he's going to gear him up for this tournament. With that said, man, Sammy's a punch you in the face killer. He's a savage. He's a savage. He's a punch. He's a savage. If you watch Sammy today from 2 years ago, I'll never forget, we were at NC State at the trials. And Sammy was winning and lost to Lee, Brayton Lee from Minnesota. And I go outside, and my boy, who I love Sammy, I know Sammy since he was a Dark Knight kid. I know him since I got to meet him when he was 12, 13, and known him since. And when I went outside, because I knew he was hurt and I knew he was upset, and I know him, I went outside and I followed him and said, hey, what's happening? And he was not good. And I'm just like, hey, what are you doing with that trophy? I'm second and this and that and that. And we went over some things. I said, Sammy, I said, you've been here before. I said, I remember watching you at Walter Shore as a 12-year-old kid taking fifth while guys like Nick Remo won the weight and stuff when you were 90 pounds. And look where you at today, man. And my words with Sammy and my conversations with Sammy have always been personal because he knows I love him dearly personally. Forget wrestling. I love Sammy Sasso as a young brother. Sammy's on such another level today than what he was when he first came to college, what he was 2 years ago. He's got gas tank. They used to he gets tired, they get heavy hands on him, and you did see that. Them days are over. That kid's gonna wrestle you 7 minutes, 9 minutes, and he's gonna wrestle you in the 8th and 9th minute like it's the 3rd or 4th minute. So the days of people thinking they can catch up to him, just wear him down. You'll catch up to him. You better get a big lead early because you're not going to wear him down and catch up to him or pass him.
Yeah, man, he's having an amazing year right now. I mean, let's keep going. Let's keep going through the first round matchups in this bracket are insane. Yaya Thomas, Jaden Abbas.
Okay.
8 and 25. Yaya Thomas is had another guy.
What, junior or senior?
Thomas
might be a senior.
No, I think he's a junior. Regardless, these guys are all coming back next year.
But yes. But Abbas is having an electric year too, and he look at his father, look at his uncle. There's nothing but accomplishments there.
Yeah,
and the kid's having a good year, and he had a good year last year. Didn't he win Southern Scuffle last year?
Yeah, he did.
He won Scuffle. So this kid can make it happen. But go ahead.
Ridge Lovett, Peyton O'Mania. Peyton O'Mania is hitting headlocks from everywhere. This dude's hitting it from the left side, from the right side.
Yeah.
That's going to be Ridge Lovett, who a lot of people thought was going to be a dark
guy.
They thought he was going to be a dark horse in the Big Tens, and that's exactly what he did. Goes all the way, upsets Max Murin.
Yep.
Pulls another upset in the semis. Goes right into the finals. Gives Sammy a little bit of a tough match as well.
5-2. Yeah. 5-2. Lovett's a big move guy.
I'm gonna be glued to that one too, man.
All right, so Lovett and who? And Omania?
Yeah.
I got Lovett.
All right. Man,
the all-around wrestling is why I got Lovett.
I agree with you, but man, Ridge Lovett was a 33-pounder a year ago. He's only wrestling wrestling 149 because he can't beat out Chad Red.
That's insane, right?
Yeah.
But look at what hides in the darkness, right? You don't beat the 41-pound and you put on some weight, and how you're wrestling at a higher level at 49. So you never know. You can't go by what he did, what weight he wrestled last year.
I like him. Yeah,
he's tough. He's tough.
We got Mitch Moore, Josh Heil, first round. I got Mitch Moore getting past that one though. He was going
Heil's
back.
Out of Campbell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Heil's the real deal.
Mitch Moore transferring in for Virginia Tech.
Yep. Now over there at Oklahoma with Roselli and the boys, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Mitch Moore was going. He didn't win Big 12s, but that match was very back and forth between him and Bulu Allen. I got Mitch Moore though, but that's another. We're just going through 5 matches here.
Yeah,
man.
You go through 5 matches. Mitch doesn't score enough for me. Mitch is a talented guy. He's so physical. He's so tough. I just don't like seeing him rely on just being physical and hard to score on. I like to see him opening up more. When guys are offensive and on his legs, it makes it tough on him, even though he fights off and defends those shots early in matches well because he is so physical. But I like to see him get to some leg attacks early before I throw any, support his way in a big way. I don't mean to disrespect him. I mean, it's just wrestling-wise, that's my opinion.
All ACC matchup first round, and Bryce Andonian and Josh Finesilver. We know those Finesilvers could wrestle, but I like Andonian.
The Colorado boys. Finesilver, tough kid. The brothers, they're all tough guys. Greg Lanham, Long Island boy out of Lindenhurst, is their head coach. We know Lanham is legit. He brings some good stuff to their room. But Anandonian he's pretty daggone good, man. That kid is pretty daggone good. He's going to hit you with the kitchen sink from the basement to the second floor to the third floor. And then after he hits you with the kitchen sink, watch out because the kitchen cabinets are flying at you. He hits you with everything and anything from anywhere. And then he could defend almost everything you throw, even if it's big moving, got counters to stuff. So he's a lot of fun. Everybody better be careful with him on this weekend because of that. You see what he did to O'Connor. He had O'Connor down 6-0, and O'Connor obviously, being the man that he is, kept his composure and ended up winning 8-6. But he was down by big six.
Speaking of hitting you with the kitchen sink. We got Mikey Van Brill going up against Tristan Lara of UNI. Mikey Van Brill had another one.
Rutgers transfer.
No, he's been in Rutgers the whole time.
Oh, he's still there?
Yeah.
Oh, he went down to the Rutgers transfer. He went down to 49.
He was at 57.
Right. I know he used to wrestle him.
I first caught wind of him when Ashnault took the year off because of his shoulders, and they were already giving him high praise. And he was at 141. He was showing it too. That's again another big move wrestler.
He was at 57 last
year ago. Yeah, he was at 57.
Because Peter Pappas, our guy from Peter's at Edinburgh. Yeah, Peter's at Edinburgh. Peter beat him, I think, 3-1 or 3-2 once before, earlier in the year, last year or the year before, whatever. But Van Brill's legit. He's down at 49. We'll see what happens.
Van Brill, third place finisher at the Big Tens, man.
Wow.
Some high level guys that are just hitting you with some stuff, man.
Really, I didn't realize he took third.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be a guy to watch out for. And then the last big matchup I got here, and we said a lot. Griffin Perry against Jarrett Deegan.
Wow. Parrott against the 6-footer, the 6'1", Deegan's tall. And then again, the room, Dresser, Metcalf, St. John.
Who are you taking there? I'm going with Perry.
I'm going to go with Deegan. I'm going to go with the big drink of water, 6 foot, 149-pound drink of water, the tall drink of water, like the old timers use that terminology when it's a skinny guy. He's a tall drink of water. I'm going to go with the tall drink of water.
Let's start running through this thing, man. So your 2-seed Austin O'Connor, you're taking Deegan, I'm taking Perry. I think O'Connor gets through both of those guys. Yes, Perry's a big guy, man.
Yeah.
I think Perry was a 57-pounder at one point, wasn't he?
Austin O'Connor.
But I'm taking O'Connor.
Yeah. I was in that room at the UNC training facility again with your brother and Kenny Monday and watching him, and just watching him drill, watching him wrestle live with Jordan Oliver. The kid is legit. His reattacks, his reshots, another one of those guys that out of any position, on his feet, in ties, out of ties, outside, can make it happen. He's a handful. I'm almost sure, to me, it doesn't matter how you force it or turn it. It's going to be him in my eyes, him and Sammy in the finals.
I agree.
And from there on, it's going to be fireworks.
So I have him going up against Mike Van Brill in the quarters. Got him beating Van Brill, but again, like it's the way Van Brill wrestles, you got to watch out.
Go ahead.
On the quarters above them, I actually have Cannon Store
out of Michigan
going up against Brock Mahler from Mizzou, and I got Mahler against Austin O'Connor in your semi.
Yeah.
Top half, I've got. Well, Mitch Moore and Llewellyn might match up in the second round. That one was super close, but the second time it was super close.
I know, but it's a bit close. But you know what? Llewellyn keeps getting to his offense, and it's that same low single, pulls himself in high, and he does it. He did it 2 times. That he took him down twice that way. The last match took him down 2 or 3 the same way, and so they could stop that shot. I'm not convinced, Llewellyn.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll take Llewellyn in the quarters, and I got him going up against. Did I pick Omania or Lovett first round?
You picked Omania. I got Lovett.
You know why I'm picking Omania though? Because it's but no, it's not just that. It's the NCAA tournament, and crazy things happen. So I've got Omania. I've got Omania beating Murin in the second round.
Oh no.
I got him striking lightning twice headlocks.
Yeah, but I think that one big move was enough to make Tom and Terry Brands and the rest of that staff say this ain't happening. Lightning ain't striking twice. They're gonna get Murin, they're gonna grab him, and they're gonna make sense to him as father's position and stuff like that. What's coming, and I don't see that happening.
So you got Murin in the quarters?
Yeah.
Classic Iowa Okie State quarters matchup. Who you taking there?
Who's the Okie kid again?
Llewellyn.
I'm gonna go with Murin because Murin's not gonna fall for what Mitch Moore would fall for. Like when they coach him and they go over that shot that he's hitting, I don't see it happening. And Murin coming up from 41 has really been very impressive at 49. I'm gonna go Murin.
Right on, right on. Top half. Again, Sammy's got some matches here, man. So I think we got him both getting past Alvarez, and then he'll have the EIWA champion PJ Agansanya of Army. I got him beating. I got him beating Sasso. I got Sasso beating him. Excuse me, and Sasso taking on Jaden Abbas in the quarters.
He's getting through those guys.
So in your semis, I got Bulu Allen and Sammy Sasso. So Sammy Sasso versus Austin O'Connor. This thing's going chalk. I'll take Sammy Sasso to be your national champ at 149 pounds.
I love Sammy, man. I love Sammy. Big shows up for the big show. And Austin O'Connor. You know what? I'm not going to offend neither one of them. I know them both. I know Sasso. I know Sammy personally much better and much longer. I've come to know O'Connor. I have a lot of respect for Austin O'Connor, man. But Sammy Sasso. I'm not going to choose here because I'm just going to talk and say things, and they could, the audience can take it what they want. Sammy Sasso, he comes to fight, but Austin O'Connor's legit.
Hit 157. The only one matchup I think everybody should really be tuned into, and that's Caleb Licking of Nebraska going up against your 4 seed Jesse Del Vecchio of Riders 7-0. Got Del Vecchio getting past Caleb Licking, but Caleb Licking is a guy that's shown some promise here. He's been a backup at Nebraska for a little bit. Got put in the lineup this year, and Manning and the rest of that coaching staff that have high praise for him. Since day one. Yeah, but I'm going to take Del Vecchio to hold things there.
We're going to go back to section 11, Jesse Del Vecchio being our hometown kid.
Oh, excuse me. I do have another one. Go ahead.
So Jesse Del Vecchio being our kid that we know, we know him since he's a little boy, since kid wrestling, coming out of East Islip High School, coached by the great Guy Leggio. Man, the kid is a hammer. He's such a hammer on top. He's going to crab. What he's going to do. And he still does it. He's tough, man. He's tough, and he's got the physical maturity. Guy was at 65 a couple of years ago, 74 maybe 3 years ago. He's down at 57, big and strong, got the weight under control. I got Jesse Del Vecchio.
Caleb Young versus Connor Brady should be a fun one, first round.
Connor Brady, Ohio kid, number 9 overall recruit coming out of high school his senior year. Definitely a solid kid. He's doing his thing, but he's got his hands full.
Yeah, most definitely. And Parker Cropman and Jared Franick.
Okay, now Parker Cropman, another New York kid, very tough. Drexel, right? Very tough. A bunch of Cropman boys. There might be 3 of them, 4 of them. Very tough. But again, we're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about Franick, 4-time North Dakota State champion, wrestling for my very good friend, somebody that I love dearly and respect and admire, look up to. The assistant coach there, Mr. Obenson Blanc, Obi, my man Obi, and Roger Kish, the head coach, coming out of Minnesota. So those 2 guys are doing a number over there. North Dakota State, and only their second year or third year. Roger Kish, a few years Kish been there. This is Obi's.
Kish been there for a little bit now.
Yeah, okay, 5 years, 6, whatever. But Obi's only been there. This is Obi's second year, and Obi's got his feet planted. He bought a house there. He's not messing around. Obi makes it happen. Franick is the real deal. I'm going with Franick.
Holden Heller, EIWA champion for Hofstra at 157's got Will Lewin from Michigan. This is a weird one, man. I got a chance to talk to Coach Papadopoulos the other day. Coach, did you know Coach Papadopoulos wanted to transfer to his plan was to go to Hofstra because they weren't good, wrestle well, and transfer to Michigan. Now he's the head coach of Hofstra, taking on a Michigan wrestler. I'll tell you what, though, man, I'm going to give Coach and his staff, Mike Patrovich and Jamie Franco, some props here. I'm going to go Holden Heller in an upset against Will Lewin first round.
So you got Holden Heller, Illinois kid. Got a couple of brothers. Did a lot of great things over there in Illinois. He's been around. Definitely ranked, I think, as high as 22nd this year. And, yeah, you got my good friend, Dennis Papadopoulos, and another good friend that I respect and have all the world of respect for. Two of them, obviously, Michael Patrovich, who I know for forever, and Mr. Franco. Good coaching staff, great coaching staff, and the kid is wrestling at a high level. You don't end up at, ranked top 25 for nothing. He's coming along. So I'm going to actually go with my gut feeling with you, and I'm going to go with him. Hella.
Let's start breaking this thing down. Really, Hayden Hidley, your 2 seed. I got him going to the quarters, beating Chase Saldate in the second round.
Saldate's tough, man.
Saldate is tough. Another guy that had a very
true
good
freshman.
Another guy that had a good Big Ten tournament.
But Hidley, yeah, we're gonna go with Hidley. I think Hidley's just gonna be a little, obviously, too physical.
In his quarter, I have him taking on Jarrett Jacques of Missouri. Got Hidley going to the semifinals, and I got him taking on David Carr in a matchup that you're all going to want to see. No, I can't do it. I was going to go crazy, but I'm not going to do it. I was going to pick Ja'Cory Teamer to upset David Carr, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I won't do that one because of David's discipline. But then again, let me tell you something about Ja'Cory. That's our Long Island boys.
When the lights are on.
Beach, when the lights showtime. When it's showtime, don't let the rankings or the seedings or anything. Don't put that on Ja'Cory Teamer. Don't do that with Ja'Cory Teamer. Don't do it. You could throw him in the pigtail and he could turn around and have a Ja'Cory weekend and end up in the finals and winning something. That's how much showtime and he comes up when it matters, when it's big. But I think that David Carr's discipline, that people don't realize, that mental part of the sport. At these tournaments, how focused and staying disciplined and overlooking and closing out the hoopla, how much sense that makes and how much it matters. I got David Carr over Ja'Cory Teamer, but do not sleep on Ja'Cory Teamer.
Yeah, I'm gonna take if it's Carr, I'm gonna take him to go all the way to the finals. I love Hayden Hidley. A couple years ago, I thought he kind of got hosed a little bit against North.
Yeah, okay.
But and as great as he is, man, just too one-dimensional for me. He just relies on that underhook too much, and it'll work for you. But when you go up against those great guys, you gotta come with a little more. So I'm gonna take David Carr in the minor upset there in the semis over against the 2 seed to go up against Jarrett Deacon in the finals at 157 pounds.
Yeah, I can respect your pick there, but Hayden isn't just underhooked. Yes, he goes to it a lot. Yes, it's his bread and butter, but he'll do other things, and his reattacks are very high level. So it's not like he just jams underhooks and then you can't do nothing out of it. It's when you fight out of the underhook, it turns into something else. When you react or so you got to watch his reattacks, man. But again, David Carr being David, who I know personally, another Ohio kid who I know David personally and love him dearly. And it just keeps getting better and better and better each year. And his father is pretty good.
Yeah.
Father's pretty decent.
Uncle's pretty good too.
Yeah, all of them, Jimmy. Yeah, but the whole family is stud. But that's a toss-up. But it's Hayden Hidley, man. I'm going to go with Hayden, man. I'm going to go with Hayden.
Who we taking in the finals here? Since I picked Carr over Hidley, I'm going to pick Deacon. But if it's Hidley, Deacon, I mean...
I'm going with Hidley in the finals.
Those guys have had some wars.
Hidley's winning his title this year.
I respect it.
I got to go Wolfpack.
I respect it. 165. 165 first round. Couple of good ones here. Cam Amin versus Kennedy Monday, first round. Two guys coming from some big time wrestling families here. Amin's been wrestling very good. Kennedy's been a little up and down.
True freshman or redshirt freshman?
Redshirt freshman.
Redshirt freshman. And he's been wrestling real well. He just lost 4-2 to somebody in his conference that won it.
He had a close one. He had a close one with the Bull with Alex Marinelli.
That's what I'm saying. It was him. 4-2 he lost. Yep. In the first round, wasn't it? Opening round?
No, semis.
Semis, 4-2. Yeah, it was 4-2 match. I'm going to go with Monday. I'm going to go with Kennedy Monday. I think that the length, I think Kennedy's senior year, he's going to make it happen. He's going to win that match.
Respect it, man. And then the other one, Joe Lee, Travis Whitlake, first round, Penn State, Oklahoma State. Travis Whitlake didn't do himself any favors at the Big 12, and that's why he's where he's at right now.
Yeah, that was kind of, I didn't see that coming.
Same goes for Joe Lee at Big Tens.
Yeah, well, it happens, Jolie, but Jolie's not Travis Whitlake, who was ranked third in the country. And Travis Whitlake was a cadet world team member too a few years ago. I think there's just a difference of levels there. No disrespect to my man, Jolie from Penn State, Joe Nick's brother, Travis Whitlake.
Let's start going through this thing here, man. I got Alex Marinelli in the quarters. I got him beating Thomas Bullard second round, and I have him wrestling Shane Griffith of Stanford in your quarterfinal.
Okay, Marinelli.
Got Marinelli there. That should be a good one. Then on the other side of that, your 4 seed, Mekhi Lewis, who had the default out of the ACCs.
He's hurt.
I got him going to the quarters as well. I got him taking on Jake Keating of Virginia.
A healthy Mekhi Lewis is going to be in the finals.
Yeah.
He's healthy. If he's healthy,
he's not scared to go in those positions. That's really why he beat upset Marinelli when they wrestled at NCAA's a couple years ago.
Yeah, if he's healthy, he had a shoulder issue.
I'm gonna take Mekhi Lewis to get to the NCAA finals. Bottom half, Anthony Valencia, your 2 seed. I got him in the quarter in your
the 2 seed.
Anthony Valencia, Arizona State.
Okay.
I got him in the quarters taking on the winner of Whitlake, Ethan Smith. I'm going to go with Ethan Smith in that second round.
Over Whitlake?
Yeah. It's like what I've been seeing from Ethan Smith all year. And by the way, Ethan Smith didn't even know if he was going to be a starter this year. He was going to try. Huh? He was going to try and compete with Caleb Romero at 174. They get an injury at 165 to Carson Karchler, who a lot of people thought was was expecting big things out of.
Yeah, Karchler, had a good offseason.
Ethan Smith is making the best of it, though, man. I think he could be an All-American at this tournament, but I'm gonna call an upset, Pop. I think Ethan Smith is going to the semifinals. I got him taking out Anthony Valencia in the quarters.
I don't think that's far. I don't think that's a bad call. I don't think that's a bad call. The kid is
solid wrestler, great
the outside, to wrestle on the inside, great leg attacks. He's legit.
And I got him taking in the semis. I got him taking on Keegan O'Toole. I got Keegan O'Toole upsetting Jake Wenzel in the quarters.
Keegan O'Toole.
And I got Keegan O'Toole going to the finals.
That can happen. He's tough. Is that the Michigan kid?
Missouri.
Askren
kid.
Yeah, right. Askren, yeah. And he was Askren kid for a long time. Yeah, he world beater in high school, world beater. What's his record this year?
Keegan O'Toole's 13-0.
Oh, there you go.
He just doesn't have any of the big wins because he didn't get to wrestle those guys, but he's legit, man.
Yeah, he's legit.
I got him going to the NCAA finals.
Who's on his side in the semis?
I got him wrestling Ethan Smith in the semis because I think Ethan Smith will beat Valencia.
All right. And that I don't think he can beat Ethan. He can, but I don't know if he.
I think he's that good, man.
Yeah, no, he is. He's legit. He could win it.
He could.
To win that side. I don't see anybody beating Mekhi Lewis.
All right. Well, I think we both kind of agree Mekhi Lewis could win this thing if he's healthy. So I'll pick Mekhi Lewis. You got Mekhi Lewis, 174 pounds. See what we got here first round. Anything interesting here? Peyton Marco and Anthony Montanana. Montanana's a big move wrestler, so that should be a fun one.
Marco's been having a pretty solid year, too.
Yeah. That could be that definitely could be one to watch out for. Can't really see anything too crazy here outside of that. Jake Aller, nah, not even that one. Yeah, that's really the one I'm looking at. So let's start breaking this thing out. Demetrius Romero, Utah Valley is your 2 seed.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, he's having a good one. He's been around for a little bit now. He's definitely somebody I like. But I think I'm going to take Caleb Romero from Ohio State to upset him in the quarters. So we'll have a Romero in the quarters. It just won't be the 2 seed. And
I'm not going to go with you on that. I go with the kid from, Utah Valley?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Utah Valley kid.
All right.
I like his athleticism over the Romero from Ohio State, Tom Ryan's guy. He doesn't do enough for me. He doesn't score enough. That's just my thing. That's just at this tournament, guys are going to.
He doesn't score enough, but he's also hard to score on. And when he's a lot like Kellen Russell was like that.
But Kellen could score from different positions. And
he waited a lot. That's what I mean. Like, they're two guys that are hard to
wrestler.
score on, and then they wait a lot.
Yeah, but
when they do get in, you know what I mean?
Finish. But Kellen could wait on you and count and score. Romero's not a big guy that he's going to count and score on you.
All right.
But go ahead.
Well, I got a Romero. We both got a Romero making the semis with just two different schools. I got the going up against Carter Starachi from Penn State, who I think is
my man Carter.
He started off a little tough, but he's putting again that Penn State room, no getting guys to peak at the right time. I got him against Caleb Romero. Both times they wrestled have gone to overtime, and I think it might happen that way again. But Starachi is going to be your NCAA finalist at 174 pounds.
I agree with you 100%. I think that's Starachi, and Starachi's legit, man. I remember being up at State College when I first met him, and we all went out to dinner. A bunch of us, me, him, AB, a bunch of the guys went out to dinner. We're at a restaurant, and I start talking to this kid, and he starts telling me about his high school regimen, his workout. And we start getting into just basic conversation. And he's like, yeah, Uncle Tony, we start talking, oh, you're practicing too. I said, what, he goes, yeah, and I'd get home from practice from school every day, like at about between 10 and 11 at night. I said, 10 and 11 at night? I said, wait a minute.
It's dedication.
I said, practice is from 2:35. He goes, yeah, but Uncle Tony, then I go and I stay an hour or two and keep drilling. And then after I do that, I go to the gym and I go lift. And I was like, dude, this kid, he told me, and I'm not going to put the names on some of the coaches from Penn State, they had to slow him down.
Because he was working that hard.
Yeah, working that hard at high school. Is from 2:30 to 10 at night. Yeah, you got to break, after practice. And then, you go. But his mind, his gears for 8 hours a day at the highest college level, at the most decorated state in the nation in Pennsylvania, were going like that. He's legit. And that's why you see him making these leaps and bounds. And of course, because Kale in that room and Casey Cunningham and stuff like that. Carter Starachi is the real deal.
Yeah, man.
And I'm going to tell you now, camera's on the other side. And what happened?
I got something for you for that side.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm going to go ahead and finish before I let you break this out.
I'm going to tell you, Starachi's going to be ready for whoever's there. Whoever's there. When he gets to the finals, he's going to have his big boy pants on. Trust me.
Well, he beat Mikey Labriola in the semis. That was a good match as well. Mikey Labriola is your 4 seed. He would have Munoz, who's actually Trey Munoz.
Oh, yeah. Wait. From Arizona State?
Yeah.
Little Munoz, holy cow.
You know who
father
his dad
Oklahoma
is.
State national champ, MMA fighter, sure, but I know
Yeah.
Coach Munoz very well.
Munoz is another one having a stellar freshman year, and so I think that'll be your matchup in the second round. Him and Labriola. Got to go with the vet there. Labriola's been wrestling lights out all year.
Labriola, absolutely.
So in your quarters, you'll have Labriola, and I will take him to wrestle Logan Massa from Michigan. Got him beating Massa as well, but Massa's another one who's been wrestling well.
Yeah, Massa wrestles well. There's two Massas. There's the freestyle Massa and the folk style Massa, and the freestyle Massa's a better competitor. Accomplishment wise, I don't know, than the Massa when it comes to folk style. That's just the one thing. They're two different wrestlers. But go ahead.
Well, I'm going to take Labriola over Massa there to get to the semis. On your other side, you got 1 seed Michael Kemmer. I got him going up against Daniel Bullard from NC State in the quarters. Got him moving on there. So Labriola versus Kemmer, we didn't get to see that in the duel. That's why a lot of people, myself included, argued Labriola should have been the number 1 seed at Big Tens because of the year he's having. And they had a duel. One guy went out to wrestle, the other didn't. So that was my thing. But I will finally get to see that matchup. And it's been close in the past. I'm going to take Labriola to get to the NCAA finals here with the way he's been wrestling.
If he does, then if he does, Carter Starachi,
I like the matchup for him. I like the matchup for him.
I believe the way it plays out, Starachi's going to be sitting there waiting for him.
I think Starachi's going to be your national champ at 174 pounds.
If it plays out the way you said, I'd agree with you.
I think even if he met with Kemmer, even though he didn't go his way, Kemmer kind of did what he wanted in the Big Ten finals. Those guys at Penn State really learned the second time around.
Yeah, and I spoke with Carter. That's ironic. Me and Carter just were on the phone 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Yesterday or the day before. And I agree with you. Mentally, he was fine. He was fine. And he knows what he got to do. He told me, Uncle Tony, I know what I got to do. I'll be ready. And I said, I know you will. So I'm going to agree with you. And I'm going to go with my man, Carter Starachi, the Pennsylvania monster. winning it at 74.
184 pounds. Nothing too crazy in the first round that really moves me. So we'll start breaking this thing down. I got Aaron Brooks going to the semifinals. Got him beating Taylor Vins in the quarters, who he beat at the Big Tens.
Yes, handily.
And his opponent. His opponent.
What do you got?
Hunter Bolin. I got Hunter Bolin.
Hunter
Bolin will actually wrestle Nelson Brands.
Virginia Tech.
Hunter Bolin will actually wrestle Nelson Brands second round. And I think that Brands will make him sweat. But I got Bolin going to the semis. I got him beating 4-seed Parker Kekaisen from UNI in the quarters.
He's very tough. Kekaisen's tough.
Yes, absolutely.
Very
tough. And I got Brooks getting past Hunter Bolin in your semifinal to make the NCAA finals.
I just AB. Wow. I mean, did you talk about mental? Did you see when he hurt it was like a high ankle sprain or shin or
against Brands?
Against Brands. Did you see that kid never ever lost his cool?
No,
and then he never lost his cool.
He was down one and then just gets rights in, puts Brands to his back.
Yeah, and then it's not only that he comes back and throws him to his back, he just ran through the tournament after that. That match, he ended up winning by 5 or 6 anyway, coming back and running away with it 14-9 or whatever. And you see what he did to Vens in the finals. And mind you, that his only loss in college was to Vens, and he avenged that loss easily. He's another one that he is both ways. His attacks, his re-attacks. I mean, what do you do? One, you stop him from getting in on you. Now when you're worrying about stopping and hand fighting and down blocking, he gets around there and counters that. He is legit. And then he's another guy that in every position, Aaron Brooks is the real deal. You can't hold him. He can ride you. He's going to take you down. When he's on, he'll take anybody in the country down. When he's on, anywhere from 3 to 5 takedowns in a match. Not less than 2. He's going to take you down the first period. Might take you twice down in the same period. But in a 7-minute period, that kid's going to take you down anywhere from 3 to 5 times. If that's what he chooses to do and has to do, it's going to happen. And then you don't hold him, so you give him 3 to 5 takedown, 3-6 points. That kid's going to score 8 points.
For sure.
Every match.
For sure.
Every match. In a bad match, he scores 6, but he's going to definitely score anywhere from 8 to 10, 12 points. 8 points. It's crazy.
For sure. Your 2-seed, Trent Hidley, NC State boy, PA boy. He I got him going. I got him going to the semis. I got him beating your 10-seed Tate Samuelson from Wyoming in the quarters. And then I got the true freshman from Rutgers, John Poznansky.
Very tough.
Super solid in high school.
Yes,
he's been extremely solid for the Rutgers school.
I don't think he ever got taken down his senior year in high school or something. It's just some ridiculous statistic that they threw up about him the other day. Gave AB a run for his money as far as getting finishes the first, 2 minutes or 3, whatever. But again, AB being AB broke through him. He is not a simple task. He's not easy.
He's your 6th seed. I got him upsetting Lou Deprez from Binghamton in the quarters.
That's tough for me to agree with there because Lou Deprez, so heavy hips, so tough, been there before. It's hard to score on. He's hard to finish on.
They're very similar wrestlers.
I know, and then the maturity and been how long he's been around and the levels. In the freestyle circuit, I got Deprez.
Right. I think everybody wants to see the Deprez Hidley match in the semis.
Yes.
I'm going to go Hidley. I just talked about his brother with the underhook thing. Trent Hidley's, shortcomings against a guy like Bolin was because of that.
Yes.
He was able to break through in the ACC finals.
Yes.
I think he'll be fine though. I'm going to take him to go against Aaron Brooks in the finals. These guys haven't wrestled since the Fargo finals, so this is going to be a fun one.
Aaron Brooks isn't the same kid from his senior year in high school. I love Trent Hidley. You know how much I love the Wolfpack and Pat and those guys over there. Man, when you want to talk wrestling and being, not being biased and all of that stuff, man, Aaron Brooks is just, it don't matter. I can't see anybody beating. Can he be beat? Anybody can be beat. Don't get me wrong. Because if this was all about one seeds, we wouldn't have a tournament. We'd give everybody the one seed, the bell, the trophy and the two guys and everybody who's ranked and seeded. Whether we'd give them all and everybody go home, there'd be no tournament. So you better believe that everybody that's ranked one in this tournament, there's no way that every weight class, the guy who's ranked one is winning it. It's not happening.
Yo, yeah.
It's not happening. It's not happening. But
I've been saying all year, I think Brooks is going to be a national champ.
Yeah. Aaron's a unique young man. You have to remember that Aaron was a replacement at the Cadet Worlds. And that's when he came into prominence and won world gold. He was a replacement. The kid at his weight got hurt, and he was the next guy to step up and won the world. When he won world, they're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? And from that day on, he's never stopped coming. He's just continued to bowl him down, and now everybody knows Aaron Brooks. I mean, they've been known. Now they really know. I just think that in all positions, I love Trent Hidley. He's a smash mouth, tough kid, confident kid. The kid could wrestle. I think he's just going to be true one-dimensional for the great Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, I think we definitely agree this. Aaron Brooks, you hearing it from us, NCAA champ, 184 pounds, 2021.
Baby!
197 pounds. This is a fun weight. I don't see too much that I'm really going crazy over in the first round. Max Shaw, Tanner Sloan should be a good one. I got Max Shaw upsetting Tanner Sloan first round. Max Shaw from UNC, your 20 seed. Then Marcus Coleman from Iowa State had a nice Big 12 tournament against Lucas Davis, and maybe some recency bias for me because
who's the one seed at 97?
Amin.
Oh wow, yeah, he's had a great year.
I think I got Coleman coming out that first round. You got Nick Reenan on this. Nick Reenan, Jacob Warner, first round.
Wow. I love Nick Reenan, man. It depends which Nick Reenan shows up. Is it the Nick Reenan that 2 years ago beat Perry and lost to Taylor in the finals? Of the trials. I'll tell you, man. It depends which Nick Reenan we get. I love Nick, man. He's dealt with so much adversity, injury, and that kid's never packed it in. A lot of guys, a lot of kids, man, that have been. If you have any clue what that kid's been through, would have emotionally, spiritually, and physically packed it in. For him to win his wrestle off against his teammate who had
Trumbull, who's having a great year
and who was nationally ranked as low as fourth, as high as fourth. For him to do that wasn't a coincidence. Nick Reenan can bring it, man. Again, I pray for him. I want to see him have a good year, a great tournament. He's going to be my sentimental guy.
Because of everything you just said, along with the pedigree, and Jacob Warner, as talented as he is, I don't like the fact that he wrestles in too many close matches. Another guy who doesn't score enough. Mm-hmm. I think Nick Reenan's going to get him.
I'll agree. I'm going with Nick Reenan.
First upset right there. 5 seed going down first round.
Yes, sir.
Let's start going through this thing, man. Amin. I got Amin in the quarters going up against Stephen Buchanan from Wyoming. Noah Adams and Stephen Buchanan should meet second round. Adams is a guy. But listen to this. Adams is a guy we thought was competing for a national title a year ago. He's 0-3 again. He's 0-3 against Buchanan this year. He was a guy when they were coming out. A lot of people saying they better hope they don't meet because for some reason this year he just can't get past them.
Maybe fourth time is a charm for the other kid.
I got Amin beating Buchanan in the quarters.
Okay.
And I got Amin and Mr. Fast Twitch, AJ Ferrari meeting up in the semis. I got Ferrari taking out Reenan in the quarters. I got AJ Ferrari winning the national title. I said it on the rundown last night, man. I got AJ Ferrari winning the national title.
And yes, let me tell you something. And he's one of those guys that if you do your homework and study him, you're gonna know that he's gonna lower his level and his reattacks with that blast double are insane. If they prep for it and watch it and they come out of hand fight situations with him, right away he's lowering his level and coming through on you. If you prep for that and you stay more in a staggered stance against him, don't get caught in a square stance at any time coming out of a tie because that's where the double is. A home run for anybody with a blast double. Lead with a staggered stance and keep an angle with a staggered, and you could frustrate the kid with the blast double. I see somebody coming up with who has the right formula for that blast double and knowing that the reattack comes and staying in a staggered stance it'll definitely frustrate that strength of his.
Well, he'll have a rematch with Tanner Sloan in the second round. I bet a lot of people.
Nick Reenan.
Hey, you got a point, man. You definitely you got a point. He's gonna have his because he's gonna rematch with Tanner Sloan when we beat at the Big 12s. I think I was one of the few people who picked him to beat Tanner Sloan, but he did that. Then it ended up winning a Big 12 title.
Yeah.
And then bottom side, I got the bottom side going chalk. So I got Cordell Norfleet, your 3 seed, going to the semis. I got him beating Nino Bonacorsi, a 6 seed out of Pittsburgh, in the quarters. Bottom half, I got your 2 seed Eric Schultz taking on Rocky Elam from Missouri, and I got Schultz. two and 3 meeting up. I'm going to take Cordell Norfleet to get to the NCAA finals, though.
Wow, that's a good call. That's the Arizona State kid, right?
Yep.
He's been around too. He's legit. I won't argue that. I'll agree with you there.
If it's Amin, I'll take Amin to win a national title. But like I said, man, Mr. Fast Twitch.
Yeah.
I got Mr. Fast Twitch.
You like that fast twitch, huh?
I got Mr. Fast Twitch.
He's legit. I'm just telling you that when it comes to that, he's very one-dimensional too with that offensive attack. You know what it is. And if somebody just doesn't bite on that double, and they don't bite on it, on the setups and how he sets it up, and he'll actually set up that double at a hand fight situation on purpose. He'll let you back him up on purpose, and you think that you're flooring him and frustrating him, and then he just slows his level and drops to his knee before you know he's dropping to his knees and blasting through you, and you're like, what just hit me? So you got to watch him. He's sneaky, but if they come up with a plan as far as that double and the different positions and how he counters and uses it, they could frustrate him because that's pretty much all he hits.
Yeah, let's move on. We just said that. Let's move on to heavyweight, man. 1 seed Gable Stevenson, 2 seed Mason Paris. First round, I like Carter Isley versus Hunter Katka from Virginia Tech. Yeah, that's a fun one.
But Katka's tough, man. That's the Pennsylvania kid. That's the kid that took second in whatchamacallit. Did he win? No. He lost to Wilson, to Deontay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deontay beat him in the ACC finals. The kid's legit, 2-time Pennsylvania state champ. I'm almost sure that he was the number 9 overall recruit in the nation his senior year. Definitely top 10 overall recruit in the nation in all weights. The kid's legit.
For sure.
Legit.
For sure. Just running through some other names here. Greg Kirkfleet, not first round, but as a 9 seed, that's a crazy draw.
For him, who does Kirkfleet gonna have?
Not first round, nothing crazy. He'll have McAlvey from the Citadel.
And after he gets through him?
Second round, probably Jordan Wood from Lehigh. But I'm going to pick him to beat Jordan Wood.
Yeah, me too. And then if he beats Jordan Wood, then who's
Gable?
Ain't nobody beating him. Nobody's beating Gable Stevenson.
I don't know if it'll work out for him, but I know Zach Knight and Ward from Hofstra is going to try to throw Tony Cassiope, but I'm going to take Tony Cassiope in that one.
Go with Cassiope.
Let's start breaking this thing down, man. So we'll start from the 2 seed and work our way up. Mason Paris, I got him beating. I'm going to take Katka to beat Carter Isley. So I got Mason Paris beating Katka second round. I have.
And what's up with Deontay Wilson?
I'm just going to get to him. I got Mason Paris wrestling Deontay Wilson in the quarters. I got Deontay Wilson as your 10 seed upsetting Ethan Laird, the 7 seed second round.
Okay.
I think Mason is going to be a little too much for him in the quarters, though. But I think
I'm going to go with my man Deontay. Right. I'm going to go with my man Deontay Wilson. I'm going to ride my horse through the race.
Can you want to talk about it?
You know what? I think it's obvious that on paper he's overmatched. But let me tell you something. Deontay Wilson is the real deal. He's got a motor. Never gets tired. Don't get tired on him. The kid could wrestle 10 minutes. The kid could go, and guess what? He's Pat Papalizio's favorite. When it comes to his that bond that he has with a kid, he loves all his kids. I don't want the rest of his team to think, but he loves and really has a lot of belief in that Deontay Wilson, and so do I. I know Deontay since he's a little boy coming out of Long Island, the Amityville kid, and he's just what a great young man. I mean, you talk about wrestling. But let's talk about what a great, respectful kid he is and the work that he's put in. 1-time New York State champ. And I remember that he had, I ain't going to go to where he was going to commit to another college. And Uncle Tony, last second, got involved and said, dude, you got to go to NC State. And he's like, really? And I spoke to his mom and I told her why and my heartfelt reason. And the very next day, his mother, father, and him got in a car, drove to Raleigh, and they signed with NC State. And his life has trimmed. Pat Papalizio and that staff should take their hats off. a round of applause to them for not only the wrestler that they've helped create and build, but the young man that they helped build. I tip my hat to that staff for that. Deontay Wilson, I love you. I believe in you, and make it happen.
All right. Well, I got the other piece of the bottom half going chalk. I got Gannon Grumlow, your 6th seed from Iowa State, taking on Matt Stencil, your 3 seed from Central Michigan. The quarters. I got Gremmel. I like what I've seen from Gremmel this year. I like the staff and everything. Even though Borelli's done some great things in Central Michigan, I like Gremmel. I got Gremmel taking on Paris in the semis, and I got Paris getting a rematch with Gable in the finals. Got Gable beat Colton Schultz versus Tony Cassiope, who I got in that other quarter. I'm gonna take Cassiope to upset Schultz, even though Schultz is another really good one. But, it ain't nobody beating Gable, man. I got Gable winning it all. I got him beating Mason Paris in the finals.
Yeah, well, I don't care who you throw in the finals. There's only one guy coming out of that bracket. There's 2 weight classes that I'm telling you are definitive unless they trip on the way to the tournament, and that's Spencer Lee and Gable Stevens.
Opening and closing.
Yep, the front page and the back page of the book. Yep, yeah, like they say, the epilogue, the ending, the best part, that's Gable Stevens.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he's going to go out and bang. I don't know if you heard the rumors. He's going to be done with wrestling after this. He wants to go pro wrestling.
WWE. Hey, but you gotta, what? I spoke to him too, and he had told me something about that a couple of years ago. And you gotta really, really tip your hat to a young man, any young man, who already knows what he wants. Like, this kid could go on and become an Olympic gold medalist wrestler all day long. He'd have to get past Wiz, but I'm saying the potential is there. And with all that said, this kid already knows this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm going. That takes a lot. That you got to take the kid's 21, 22, whatever. 22, tops 23. And he already knows where he's going and what he wants to do with his life. I commend you. I tip my hat off to you, Gable. I don't watch WWE, man, but maybe every now and then when you're on there, I'll take a sneak. And my good friend, Jacob Casper.
Supposed to be getting him on.
My man Jacob Casper.
Supposed to be getting him on here soon.
The Duke of Earl. Is
Ohio boy.
Ohio boy, my man. Good friend of Tariq Wilson's too. I would definitely watch WWE to watch my nephew.
Shakur Rasheed too, man.
Shakur's going WWE.
He's thinking about it.
Oh man, we're gonna shit. I might just get me a pair of wrestling trunks and go get me a bag of chips and act like I'm playing a part. Because, when that many of our guys start doing that, you got to support them. So with that said, Jacob Stevenson, you're a beast. Your reattacks, your offense was so next level. It was insane. You're not fair. It's unfair. You shouldn't be able to wrestle in this tournament when you could wrestle like a 33-pounder and you're wrestling guys 260. That's so unfair. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're that good.
He's adding on. He's adding on, man. The Minnesota Gophers are heavyweight you. He's just adding on to it.
Oh no, but he's on another level.
He is. He's going to go down as the greatest.
I don't care about Lesnar. I love him. They won in a different way. They won with a lot of physicality, a lot of different things. This kid,
he's amazing.
He's amazing. This kid wrestles like a 33. He does reattacks like he's a 33, 25-pounder. And he's a heavyweight.
Get that Muhammad Ali shuffle going mid-match.
Crazy.
Kid can move. Crazy. He can move.
I'll tell you, I want to talk about some foot movement. I saw that RBY.
That was fun.
Oh, boy.
That was fun.
My man RBY. I know where he got that from, too, but I'm not going to open up the bag of chips. I'm not going to do that. But my man RBY with the good movement. And I forgot to say, last but least, and I'm sorry because we go through the weight classes fast. I got a business call. At 125 pounds, wherever you're sitting, Dylan Ryder, I know
he'll
the
be
potential.
Back, man.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
No, yeah, for next year, he'll be back. Wherever you're sitting, you keep your head up, Dylan, because the tournament's going to be waiting for you next year. And that one was a heartfelt situation because I love Dylan deeply. And it just didn't happen for him this year. And he didn't get a wild card. But
Team champs? Team champs?
Yeah, for the EIWA.
Right? No. I mean, who are we picking? I think Iowa Hawkeyes, man.
Yeah, the Hawkeyes. But don't sleep on the Penn State.
I said that, but I think
sleep on Penn State.
I just don't. I was going into Big Ten saying that, And, you know, it's harder at nationals because, you know, a lot of these guys are seeing other guys that they might have never seen before. It's easy for them to go down.
And they have so many dominant guys that are definitive as far as, you know, Cameron's not losing, Lee's not losing. A lot of their guys.
I tell you what, man, Iowa legitimately could do what Minnesota did back in the day, 10 All-Americans. They really could.
It could happen. It could happen. But again, don't sleep on Kale's guys. And they're young. Don't sleep on the
That's one of the things I said, though.
Don't sleep on the Nittany Lions.
Kale has, and I wrote an article about this. You guys need to check that out. Kale has, for 3 cycles now, taken a young group and won national titles with them. It's deja vu all over again, even though they didn't win Big Tens, but they got 7 guys in their lineup that are underclassmen.
Yeah, it's insane.
You know,
it's the work, it's the body of work that he does, and Casey and Cody. You know, they're RTC guys. They got really great guys down there as well. And, you know, you still got Vincenzo's down there in the RTC. I know North goes through there. You know, they still got their guys.
They got Gilman. Gilman's training.
They got Gilman.
The Puerto Ricans.
They got Franklin.
They got Franklin and Espinal.
Yeah. And they got Espinal still there. Oh, Espinal's what a wonderful guy. Good friend of Johnny Massa, by the way. Yeah, they got it. They got those bases covered. So do not underestimate, though Iowa is the favorite, and, you know, they're the favorite. Do not sleep and underestimate the Nittany Lion on no program that Kale Sanderson, Coach Cunningham, and Cody Sanderson are in control of and controlling and coaching. Do not underestimate that program. Like you said, they are notorious for coming on when it matters. So with that said, you could see a kid like Robert Howard really run the table and do special things, because that's what they do when they come from that room. So with that said, I got Iowa winning the team tournament, but do not sleep on my Nittany Lions. I'm a big fan and a big supporter of Kale and his team. You know, don't sleep on Nittany. Don't sleep on Penn State. This is not a trophy that you better hand out to Iowa or anybody else before the tournament starts. You better not do that. Don't do that.
Right on, man. Want to thank you guys for tuning in.
I want to thank you for having me.
Of course, gotta have the great Uncle Tony on.
And guess what? We actually agreed on
that never
many picks. Me and my son here have been arguing for 22, he's 27, for 23 years, since he's 4 years old. He learned to argue at 4. So now, me being his dad, you could see why. But no, we've come a long way. He's come a long way. And this was an actual honest opinion that we saw a lot of things the same way, which we haven't in the past. But in this tournament, I think that great minds, like they say, think alike, and that's why we agreed on a lot of stuff. With that said, thank you for having me on the show. You guys enjoy it.
All right, guys, that's Uncle Tone. It's Rich. Get ready for that NCAA tournament next weekend, because we'll definitely be tuned in. You should be too, and we will see you guys next time.
Later.